Here's the other thing though, the pests have found the greenhouse. Something dug the garlic up. Hey girl or guy, can't tell yet. It's crazy to say, I really have nothing to do in the garden right now. We finally cut those tops off of the tree collards. It is working. I love that. I mean, hardly any pest pressure. Hello, welcome to Yellow Door Urban Homestead. I am Asia and I'm an urban gardener growing in a small space out in my backyard. And so today, surprisingly, I do not have much to do in the garden. We are going outside though. I'm gonna show y'all. I have pulled off all of the really bad overeaten leaves that pests had gotten to. The garden looks so clean, y'all. It looks like neat. It looks very neat. And things are growing. So excited about that. Here's the other thing though. The pests have found the greenhouse. I'm doing a great job, I think though, of keeping on top, but there are some holy leaves out there. Also, guess what I found this morning? I went to the farmer's market. Guess what I found? I found beef fat. It is local too. This is a farm that's close to me and they're always at our farmers markets. So this is beef fat that I intend to render down to make tallow. I have been watching lots of videos. I believe Sage and Stone did it the other day. More Than Farmers did it the other day. And tallow, beef fat, once it's rendered, is called tallow. It's good to make skincare products. You can cook with it. So I'm very interested in doing that. So even though I am an urban farmer, an urban homesteader, I don't have, you know, cows and pigs and things, I can go to farmers markets and find the things that I want. And the crazy part is I literally was looking this week, like saying, where can I get tallow from? I went to the farmer's market to find more garlic. There's a lady there that has a seed garlic from around here. And so my seed garlic from the local feed and seed store, I kept telling y'all that it was moist. It was very moist and I'm not sure what I'm going to get from it. The other thing is, because I am struggling, this fall garden has been a lesson in resilience for me. But something dug the garlic up. So the garlic I could find, I put back, but there are holes at this point that do not have garlic in it. So I had went to the farmer's market to see if she was there, but she was not there today. But I did make a connection with the lady who spins her own yarn, I guess. She only had the yarn that you would normally use for knitting today. So I'm gonna go back next week. She said that she's gonna work on something that's a little bit thicker for me. So next week, I'll probably take y'all to the farmer's market with me. I took the vlog channel to the farmer's market with me this morning because I'm trying to do both things at the same time. And maybe I could just insert some of that footage. I don't know. I might do that. Anyway, I went to the farmer's market this morning. And so I got that tallow. Also found some delicata squash. If y'all remember, mine did not do well. I got these fish peppers. The guy was telling me like the whole history of these fish peppers. And he was telling me just how good they taste. And so I'm going to powder these down. Because I asked him how would he, you know, use these. He was like, you can use it to fry some fish up. He told me a bunch of different things. But for me, I like the whole powder thing, which, you know, that's what I do right here. With that being said, that's what I'm going to do with these peppers. I'm going to keep them separate from the peppers that I had already powdered. And I may not powder it all the way. I may flake it. I'm not sure. But that's what I'm going to do with these because I want to know what it tastes like. He said that like they have very pretty leaves. They're variegated leaves. He was just giving me the whole story behind it and I thought that was really nice. And so I got me some green tomatoes because I did not get any fried green tomatoes this year. So got some fried green tomato. Well, I got some green tomatoes because I want to have some fried green tomatoes. The other thing that happened today, my daughter is not feeling well. She can pick up anything. By the way, she did try the fire cider, but she tried it in water. She could not do it. She was like, this is so nasty. She did try it though, but she was not a fan of it. I was fine with it. But anyway, she's not feeling well, and so I am giving her conventional medicine as well. But I also have started giving her some tea. This is sage and lemon balm. It's an infusion. Used my books, and that's what I made. And I know there are other things that would be better for it. I don't have them, and so I'm using what I have. She says she's feeling better. I don't think she's taking the medicine, like the over-the-counter stuff, like she's supposed to. So maybe that's helping. Can I just say, I know I told you about this tallow, but I'm so excited about this tallow. I can't wait for it to dry and so I can start rendering it. I am so excited. And the lady was telling me, she was like, you don't have to render this all at once. She was like, you don't really have to render it at all, depending on what you're using it for. She said you could literally just cut some of it off and put it in a pan and use it to cook. By the way, y'all, listen. I was outside in the garden and burnt these cinnamon rolls up. I made a hash for breakfast this morning, but I burnt them up. My daughter tried to eat them. I told her they was burnt and she should not try that. But she tried it anyway. Okay, other thing, inside. I'm going to try to use comfrey tea for the hydroponics growing systems. I'm going to try. Last year, I tried to use another fertilizer, and I've been doing a little bit of research, and they basically are saying if you try to use a fertilizer that is specific for soil, that it's not going to work. I don't think comfrey tea is specific for soil, but I don't know. Y'all tell me if I'm wrong. Because if it's not, well, I'm going to try it either way. I don't want to have to order the nutrients. Now, I do know comfrey tea smells terrible too, so that's going to be another thing. I don't know how well that's going to work inside the house, but I am going to try it. I also started another tincture. I started a lemon balm tincture. As I understand it, lemon balm is good for anxiety too. I'm going to tell y'all, a lot of my want to learn natural herbs is because I really want to treat my anxiety. I deal with it on a day-to-day. I know how to control it. But I used to think to myself like that this is what everybody's mind was like. It's not. It's not. And I don't want mine to be like this no more either. Anyway, I started a lemon balm tincture. I did not start the pineapple sage one yet. And I think that the pineapple sage I am going to use more as an infusion, as a tea. Because what I saw in a book was a specific cultivar, a specific type that I should use if I want to use it long term. So I'm going to use that more as a tea. But the lemon balm tincture I'm going to pair with rosemary. Once I'm sure rosemary is not like a problem herb for me. And I did not start doing that yet because I just didn't. I ain't going to say life. I just didn't do it yet. So listen, y'all want to see something? This is kind of just around the homestead, what's going on the homestead. Y'all want to see something? I redid me and my daughter's room. So if you are over on my vlog channel, then you've already seen this. But I redid our rooms. You want to see my room? Y'all seen my room before, so I think y'all gonna be surprised. I think it's so cute. It's kind of like boho, but you kind of got a little bit of farmhouse too. I just think it's real cute. Look at my dog. She's whining because she wants to go outside. You want to go outside? Is this what we're doing? Is this what we're doing? Come on here. Lord, girl. You are so spoiled. Bye. I'm coming in a minute. And I love the little place where I could sit. I wanted somewhere to sit so bad. But so cute. Super cute. I love it. Just figured I'd show y'all. Alright. That's pretty much all that's going on in the inside. Oh, I showed y'all, but I didn't talk about it. The quail are hatching. I only have one so far. This is 3 days from 21 days. And so this was the first one to hatch this morning. Hey girl or guy, can't tell yet. Super cute. There's a few eggs that are moving right now. But they haven't actually hatched. And like I said, we still have 3 days from the 21st day. So he or she was just a little early, I guess. That one hatched literally as soon as I took the humidity up, that one hatched. I was like, wow, that was fast. And then other ones started to move, but they haven't hatched yet. I'm trying to see if anything changed down here. Nothing has changed. I honestly really only need 5 or 6 out of this batch. So if I can get 5 or 6, I'll be happy. No complaints. Because I'm going to use them to replace the covey that's outside that is now down to 3. outside. We're outside. I was out here for a while before I turned the camera back on, but everything looks so nice out here, y'all. Like, I'm gonna just kind of walk y'all around. I really have, it's crazy to say, I really have nothing to do in the garden right now. So I still need to fix the chicken door, which Lord, y'all, like I said before, it is not keeping anything out. It's just keeping them in. With the Gorilla Car, I just have the Gorilla Car in front of the door, which is crazy. But the door itself is tore to pieces. And I know a bunch of y'all had sent me, well, not a bunch, but a good amount of people sent me the idea to do just like a dog kennel. I really don't want to spend money on that right now when I can just fix that door, because I'm not getting a 2-week or 1-week paycheck no more. So I really don't want to spend the money on that, but I appreciate that. So if though at some point I can afford that again, I probably will, because that's a great idea, honestly. The other thing that I want to get done, you all keep telling me, put the yellow door back. So that may be something that I work on next week, is putting the yellow door back on the garden. I really do want it. It's just, it wasn't a big deal for me. I didn't have the time to do it. Now I do, and so I may work on that next week too. But let me show you these plants in the garden beds. They look real good. So we're gonna start with the beds. So I did go through and finally pull all the dead leaves off. I know people were saying that I should, think about doing that. And so I have. So here are the Brussels sprouts. I came out this morning. There were a few caterpillars. The caterpillars love Brussels sprouts, I tell you that. But I'm doing really well at keeping up on that. We finally cut those tops off of the tree collards, and they're doing really well. What I'm noticing is the plant is kind of making another plant. Like, I feel like I could take this off and root it, and that would be a whole new collard tree plant. And the leaves are getting much bigger. I did find some caterpillars on here this morning too, but they're looking really good. And like I said, we cut the top off on a slant, and I did it on a slant because if it rains, I didn't want the rain to just sit on the top and rot it more. So now it should kind of roll off. But that's what I did. And truth be told, I could be using those leaves in cooking. Like if I were to make a soup, or if I just needed a few greens to saute and put into something like a stir fry or something like that, I could. Those are growing well. They are edible. And I left that stock and they just grew more. So with that being said, I now know that I'm going to start some more collard trees, because like I planted them in the spring. They didn't do well through the summer because they got eaten up for, during the summer. But then I just cut all of the leaves and stuff off of them, and now they're growing me more collards. So that's cool, right? And then the broccoli is doing good. I showed y'all this in the last garden tour, which was probably like 6 days ago. And so now we still have broccoli growing. I love that. The cabbage looks way better since I've taken the eaten up leaves off of it. And you can see that they're trying. Now, I had to go through this one this morning to find a caterpillar, so that's why that's looking like that. But they're heading up. You can see that they're heading up. And look at the leaf on this kohlrabi, which will be ready to harvest soon. Look at the leaf on that thing. It's huge. This is the one that was 100%, I thought it was going to be gone. But leaves came back and it's now growing a kohlrabi, so that's cool. So the other thing I did this week, and I did not do it on camera, it is now the time where a lot of people aren't watching gardening videos and things. And so it's kind of also should be the time where I rest a little bit. So I am doing I'm doing more time in the garden unrecorded. But I'm also still going to bring you guys a video every other day. That is what I have decided I'm going to do. And the days may not be the same, because I may post on Monday one week, starting the week out. So it'll be Monday, Wednesday, and keep going. I may post on Sunday, which would be Sunday, Tuesday. I am going to bring videos every other day. But I am doing some time where I'm out in the garden unrecorded, where I don't have to remember to move the camera. I don't have to remember to, that kind of thing. So I am doing that, but I'm also coming and bringing y'all back for the things that I did not show you. But what I was about to tell you is I cleaned the quail coop out this week. Like I went and did like a deep clean. So all of the composted bedding that was in their run area of the coop, I dug it out, and I did do a top dressing on the 2 larger beds. This week I'm probably going to do the same thing with the chicken bedding in the run. but just to get enough to top dress the rest of the beds, right? And so now I'm really thinking, do I need a compost bin? Because I do want to get it started back up. I started the worm bin back up. I'm going to show y'all that. So now I'm thinking, like, do I really need a compost bin? Because it was surprising to me how much everything had broken down in the quail area. So the quail area was like inches off of the actual ground, and so that's why I decided I was going to clean it out and stuff. And plus, you know, it's about to get cool outside, and I ain't gonna be cleaning often because it's cold outside. Plus, it's kind of like deep litter. It'll keep them a little warm. As their manure breaks down, it warms up and it keeps them warm. That's what you hear, like deep litter for chickens inside of their coops and things. And so with that being said, I've already done that for the quail area. And then I may dig out the chicken area and use that to compost the rest of the beds, because I know I will have plenty of that. So we'll probably do that next week sometime too. But you would not believe how many eggs that I found in the quail area, because I guess they were kind of covering it up when they moved the soil and stuff around. But I found probably like 7 eggs in their area. So I did a float test. Probably 5 were actually good. 5 or 6 were good. I can't remember. And in that case, then I must have found way more than 7, because I think I had to throw out 3. Anyway, I did that this week, and so they're over here in their nice little clean area now. I did clean out the girls' coop too, but I didn't dig out the run or anything. But I'm gonna dig under it because I don't want to take the wood chips. But probably gonna do that this week too. But they just over here chilling. Oh, by the way, they started laying. At least 3 of them are laying again. I started giving them GrubTerra, which y'all have seen, and I feel like that's got something to do with it. That is one of the claims of GrubTerra, that it helps them lay. It also helps them during the molting season. So I'm excited about that. Like I mentioned in another video, nobody has vent gleat anymore. None of that. So I'm excited. I would take y'all in there, but I would have to fight the door. I don't want to fight the door. But the girls are doing amazingly. The quail and the chickens are doing really good. Like I said, I'm hopeful to get 5 to 6 quail out of this hatching to replace the ones that are out here. Oh, let me show you the plants that's in the bags. They look real good. Real good, y'all. I mean, hardly any pest pressure on them. These are broccoli. All of these are broccoli. I want all the broccoli I can get. I really do. And over here, that's more broccoli as well. And we got a potato growing in this bag. It's a volunteer, so we're going to let it go. And so we got a little bit of pest pressure like right here. But that's small compared to how well this plant is looking. Right here, that's also a broccoli. Now we're getting into cabbage. And I did find a caterpillar on this one. You can definitely tell when you need to come looking for caterpillars, because you have those holes in the leaves. But most of them, we're not having any issue. Now, I thought this was a cabbage originally. It's absolutely a cauliflower. And you can tell the difference. So cauliflower leaves kind of go up. So they resemble broccoli, right? But you see how they're going up? Because that's a cauliflower. And those are cauliflowers too. And then you have another cabbage right here. This is the cabbage we pulled out of the bed. That was just a bunch of little tiny leaves, and that's growing. And then these are the ones that these are cabbages that the chickens got too. But they're trying to grow back too. So I'm excited to see that. We love that for us. And so originally I told y'all that there was a cauliflower in here. There isn't a cauliflower in here. This is all broccoli. All broccoli, and I want all the broccoli. I want all the broccoli because me and my kids, we love broccoli. So we eat it steamed. We'll eat it like mixed in with like a soup or something, but we also love it fried. And I know that kind of defeats the purpose, but it's delicious, and we eat fried broccoli. I love fried broccoli. So the peppers are also having a second wind. I know what I meant to tell y'all, and I said it over on Instagram. Do y'all remember the first time I fertilized and I was saying like the comfrey tea looked really weak? It's because it wasn't comfrey tea. I think, and I don't have any footage, I guess it was something I just did one day when I was outside. I'm pretty sure it was like weeds and chicken bedding, like the stuff out of the chicken run. It wasn't comfrey tea, which is why I think we still saw a change in the plants, because it still was good for the plants. It just wasn't what I thought it was. So the blue bucket is actually the weeds, and I'm pretty sure bedding from the chicken area, and then the white bucket is actually comfrey tea. And so this week when I fertilized, I fertilized the flowers and the peppers with the weed tea, because I don't have a lot of comfrey tea left, and I do have the comfrey plants, but they've gotten very small, so I don't really want to like pick them in things now to make more comfrey tea. So I fertilized the flowers and the peppers with the weed tea, and then I fertilized like the things in the bed with comfrey tea. And I will tell you, and I think I said it before, like I know the plants are healthy because they are so green. I mean, they're like they're very, very green, and that I'm not seeing any yellowing. The purpling that I was seeing on the bok choy, that's still there. Pak choy, I think it's pak choy. That's still there, but I'm still just fertilizing them too. The plants, the pak choy plants don't look that good. I have one that looks amazing. The other three still look tattered and torn. And look at that beauty there. We love that. But see, that's the one that looks decent. And then as you go down the row, they still look pretty eaten up. And now when I say eaten up, there are leaves that can be eaten still off of these. But what I was noticing with these are the really large furry caterpillars were on these. This was not like just the little green cabbage moths. So I think that has something to do with it. We're still seeing some purple, but it's not nearly as much purple as I was seeing before. And someone had asked me, was I sure I didn't plant a purple variety? I am positive I did not plant a purple variety. It is some type of nutrients issue. But I'm just going to keep fertilizing them just like I'm fertilizing everything else, because it is working. It is working. I love that. By the way, those are not the only broccoli heads. We have another one coming right here. It's a small one, but yep. That little broccoli plant that was pretty much stems is trying to grow broccoli. And there's a tiny, tiny head in there. But we'll see what happens with that. This beautiful kale. This is a curled kale. I mean, it's beautiful. I might have missed this one when I was pulling off the eaten up leaves, but this is a purple variety of kale too that's looking good, and at the top. And I'm finally starting to see pea pods, so that's a plus. The peas are on the edge of the bed. I've been making sure that I water a little bit more for that area. By the way, totally not talking about peas now, but just remembered, I didn't put any like extra nitrogen in for the garlic because I thought garlic was a root vegetable, and people are saying garlic is not a root vegetable and it's actually a heavy feeder. So next week we'll also add some nitrogen in the form of compost. Well, I'll go get a bag of black cow compost and just top dress those holes because yeah, for whatever reason, I was saying root vegetable, but then I thought about it. I was like, onions need nitrogen to grow the leaves, and that's how you get the bulb of the onion. I was like, okay, makes perfect sense. It's kind of the same thing with garlic. So I remember that, and I appreciate y'all telling me that too. So we'll do that next week sometime. I believe we are finally seeing some actual growth over here on these Brussels sprouts, because they were very small and looking stunted for a while, and I'm actually seeing growth on the Brussels sprouts over here, so I'm excited about that. Honestly, this whole bed is starting to look better because these are Swiss chard that made it through me starting them and not taking care of them, and they were all just kind of laying on the ground, not standing up, and they didn't have any leaves that were like this size. So this right here is a borage. Borage is a something that grows through the summer, and it self-sows very easily. So that's what that is. You just pull it out, put it back down in the ground. But yeah, this bed in general is looking better, and you can tell things are growing. These are broccoli plants. That's a broccoli plant right there. That's another cabbage, but things are actually starting to grow now, and they're not looking stunted. Even my Lacianato kale. If you look back, these were small for a while, but they're looking good. And I'm still enjoying the greenery of the nasturtiums, even though I'm not sure I'm gonna actually get any nasturtiums. It's fine. Oh, let's look at this bed that these chickens ate up the other day. So I did the same thing, pulled all the leaves off that were eaten by either the chickens or the pest. And so these kohlrabi are starting to bounce back. This cabbage, crazy thing is, this was the best cabbage I had for a while till the chickens got out. And this nasturtium over here is throwing out beautiful, beautiful flowers for me. So I'm loving that. Yeah, this bed, it went through the pests and then it went through the chickens, and now I'm pretty much starting over. This little tiny broccoli plant is still, you know, they both trying to do their thing, which is fine by me. I had started talking about the peppers earlier and then got off into a tangent of something else. But anyway, we have so many cayenne peppers on a plant that has no leaves. So I'm just leaving this right now to let the peppers ripen, but there's literally no, like hardly any leaves on this plant. This leaf goes to another plant and that's got all those peppers. But a lot of the pepper plants are also starting to flower again. Even the ones that's on that back row over there, they're starting to flower again. We never really talk about them, but they're flowering and kind of producing. Let me show you. So like that's a Jimmy Nardello, and it's a whole bunch of them on here. They're green, and then another potato, volunteered in this bag too. So I will not, whenever I get around to getting the peppers out and overwinter them, I won't pull that one out. I'll just cut it. But then when I go to plant for spring, I'll make sure I get the root out because I want to leave that potato. But yeah, over here you got a Lasia that is starting to produce again too. It's got Lasia peppers on it. I do believe comfrey tea and then of course that weed tea was helpful with these plants, because I also have a Golden Marconi over here that's starting to produce now. Golden Marconis get way bigger than this, but the point is, so like there goes another one right there. But the point is they're starting to produce, and I do think it's because I have started to fertilize and thing the way that I'm supposed to. But it just looks really neat and pretty out here. It's very much giving all the fall vibes because the leaves are starting to fall now too. Let me show y'all these snapdragons. Listen, these snapdragons are going to be so pretty in the spring. They're going to make it all the way through the winter. It's just going to be greenery. But in spring, they're going to start popping. And I do not remember if I planted different varieties or if it was just all one type of seed. I can't remember, but they're doing really well. They are getting side shoots on them. They're getting taller. And so right now would be a good time for me to go ahead and snip the top, or even right here, right above these nodes, because they will branch out and grow other branches and make them a lot more bushier. But I'm not sure I'm going to do that because I put so many in that bed. I don't want them to end up not having enough airflow and then having an issue where we get diseases and things. I haven't decided, and maybe I'll do every other one if I decide to do it. But either way, I think it's going to be a beautiful display come spring. And then our collard bed, that's looking pretty good too. They, you know, we pulled off all of the other leaves. So as they grow, and they will, that's a cabbage. As they grow, they'll fill out. I think we'll have collards for Christmas. Not sure we'll have them for Thanksgiving. I'm not doing Thanksgiving, so it's okay. I got Christmas this year, so I am hosting Christmas this year. My sister is hosting Thanksgiving, so if we have collards, they will have to buy them. My roselle, it's flowering and stuff, but my actual, like the little cones or whatever the things are that the roselle flowers are coming off of are much smaller than they were last year, which makes sense because they did not get fertilized like at all for the majority of the summer. But they are flowering, and I know someone left me a comment about like exactly what parts of this flower I could use, plant I could use, and apparently you can use the flower, you can use the cone, and you can use the leaves. I'll have to do, you know, some research on that. But They are flowering. These ones have already flowered, I think. But I think their flowers are so pretty. They resemble okra. As I understand it, okra and those are like part of hibiscus, the hibiscus family, something like that. You can correct me if I'm wrong. But also, this basil, somebody said like those are your basil seeds. I started to harvest the basil seeds, and then it's kind of a hassle to harvest basil seeds. Somebody tell me if you know an easy way to do it, because I started throwing them back in the bed. I was like, well, at least I'll just get some, I'll probably get some volunteer basil, because I said it's a whole Italian no, but that is that basil tree. It was like a tree. I had a whole bunch of basil in this bed, and they were like trees. I'm leaving it because I'm still seeing bees. I am still seeing bees in my yard, my backyard. Now, are there a bunch like summertime? No, but I saw like 3 really big bees the other day when I was sitting out in the bistro set just chilling. Yeah, I saw like 3 bees, and so I'm leaving it, and I'm probably just gonna leave it until we get our first frost, and then I'll pull it out because right now it's not hurting anybody, and I definitely don't need the space. Because nothing is big enough for me to actually be needing that. Let's go. Oh, the comfrey, where I was telling you I still have comfrey, but it's pretty small. See, like they're pretty small right now. And then all down that line, that's comfrey, but it's pretty small. I'm also not sure that I'm not going to have to restart a lot of my herbs. So like y'all know how big my oregano was getting. I don't see it anymore. We're gonna wait until spring to see what happens, but we may have to restart the oregano. The sage I didn't harvest a lot, and so it's just like really leggy looking. And then the thyme, I honestly think the thyme is dead because I didn't harvest that. I maybe harvested it twice. I don't know. It wasn't a lot, but either way, it's fine. That'll give me something to do in December and January. Just starting my herbs again. And so, where I was telling you, we're in the greenhouse, where I was telling you I was starting to see pest pressure. Like, see, there was one right there. But I'm doing it every day. And it's eating the broccoli mostly. Like all 4 of the really eaten up plants in this section is the broccoli. That's a kohlrabi. There is one right there too. But it's not eating the kohlrabi nearly as much as they're eating the broccoli. But we'll be fine with that too. This middle section is kohlrabi. I'm pretty sure. Oh, no. These are cabbages. Those are 2 cabbages, and then there's kohlrabi going that way. So kohlrabi looks real good. Like I said, you got a few areas, but I come out every day now. There goes one right there. Come out every day now, and I check in here just like I check the rest of the garden. That's what we have. So it's still looking good. I have been watering and fertilizing this bed, and so we're not seeing any changes like with our naked eye, but I do think we're going to see changes in spring when we decide to plant this out. I do believe we're going to. Like I said, if I'm fertilizing and watering in here, I fertilize and water that bed too, because I'm just trying to feed the soil and treat the soil. I know there isn't much in the bed, but there is St. John's wort and stinging nettle still in there that's still green and above the soil. So I think it's worth it. So we started the worm bin back up, and I fed them yesterday, and some of them are still on the top, but a lot of them have gone down. This is moist, and so the top of the soil is also moist, and so I am hopeful for that. When I originally started that earlier in the week, I don't think I made the soil moist enough. I don't think the soil was moist enough because I came out and they were literally all on the top of the soil. And I was like, I don't think that's how they're supposed to be. And then the moringa is still in here producing, looking good. So somebody help me. If I don't want to kill the plant, and I don't have a huge plant, that may be part of my issue too. Do I just kind of harvest a few of the leaves and use them fresh? Like, I guess people who are powdering moringa have a lot of moringa at their fingertips, because I don't feel like I could dry and powder a lot of that, because then it wouldn't have any leaves left on it. If you know about moringa, tell me about it. Also, look at this. That's a problem. Oh my God. That is my apple tree. That is my apple tree that should be bare and should not be growing new things. But we have been so warm here. It has been so warm here. I mean, like the other day, it felt like a summer day. It felt like a nice summer day. And so my tree might be getting confused. It literally felt like a nice summer day. I'm not even joking, y'all. My friend said it to me. He sent me a text. He said, how are you on this summer day? I was like, not this summer day. Look at these, y'all. I mean, just beautiful. This is the pineapple sage. Sage is perennial, so pretty sure it should come back. Once everything dies back, I am going to put some compost in here from out of the chicken area and cover this with leaves, because we finally getting our leaves to fall. But it's just beautiful, like extra beautiful. We love them. And when I got that plant, y'all were telling me like it had really pretty red flowers when it flowered. I did not expect it to be this pretty. They're like a reddish pink. I think they're beautiful. So that's the garden right now. That's what's going on around my homestead. I am very much feeling like, you know, I can breathe now. I feel like I can breathe now. Not that I couldn't breathe before. That sounded dramatic, right? I feel like I'm going to get a fall harvest. Not that I can breathe, because that's being super dramatic. That I'm going to get a fall harvest of things from out here. And I'm just happy about that. When you plant a garden, you plant it wanting to make sure that you get food out of it. And I do feel like now I'm going to get food out of it. And I do think that these plants are going to make it through the winter too. I hope we don't get anything unseasonable like the, well, not unseasonable, but unnatural for my area. Like we got the Arctic freeze that year that killed everything I had. Well-established plants killed everything I had. So I'm hoping we don't get anything like that. But if we do, you know, it is what it is. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed spending a little bit of time out here with me roaming around my garden. This is literally what I've been doing for days, because I have pushed myself to make sure I got things done. And I am finally seeing the fruits of my labor. And I'm finally getting to rest. By the way, the lemon balm. We need to harvest the lemon balm specifically before we get a frost. We love lemon balm. We love it for just tea. Like I said, I put it in my daughter's tea for today too. So we really love lemon balm. I'm gonna get out here and harvest it. Also, thank y'all for telling me about the roses. I didn't do anything with them yet, but I know y'all said I could use rose water, make rose water and things like that. And so I'm probably gonna do that sometime next week and get that going before, you know, the frost comes and kills everything. By the way, I think I said in my video earlier this week, our first frost was November the 4th. Supposed to be November the 4th. Our first frost was supposed to be November the 1st. And even in the 7-day forecast right now, I don't see any frost in the 7-day forecast. So I am not sure when we'll be getting our first frost. I am not complaining, because I asked for a few more warm days, and we got the few more warm days that I felt like I needed to get my garden under control. So I'm excited about that. By the way, look at those carrots. They look amazing. These ones are in a bag with potatoes, so I'm not sure how I'm going to handle that. I may just kind of dig down and around to try to find whatever potatoes I can in that bag, but I don't want to lose those carrots at all. So, like I said, hope you enjoyed hanging out on the homestead with me inside and outside. If you did enjoy it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to visit me over on Instagram, where I post about the things going on in the garden almost every day. Bye, y'all.